Hello everyone, my name is Thomas Cecilia Jr. here, aka Mustached, and welcome to my review of Wonder Woman Bloodlines. So, this is an interesting movie, considering that we have the live-action Wonder Woman to look at, and now there's an animated, pretty similar story in regards to the setup, but very different villains. So, yes, we start the movie 5 years prior to whenever the baseline is, and we see that a bunch of demons are attacking those flying demons. I forget what their official terminology is. I'm sorry, DC fans. I'm sure you probably know. That are attacking through the portal, and we see Trevor, the pilot, make his way through the portal and end up in, I want to say the place is called Mascara. I think that's what it's called. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it or misspoke a little bit there, but nonetheless, we meet. He meets with Diana, aka Wonder Woman, obviously, but she's currently Diana. After he is healed of his said injuries, he's placed under a jail cell for interrogation or whatever. But Wonder Woman sees this and decides that she's gonna help him escape and deal with those demons. And her mother / the Queen wants to stop her, as this goes against, according to her, the Amazon way. So the two of them fight, and Wonder Woman obviously wins and leaves. She gets ready to even toss the lasso on herself to show how committed she is to this cause. And we see very briefly that the mom cries as she makes her way out the other way. We see the title crawl, and then we cut to the DC area, and we cut into a car where we see a young woman named Vanessa and her mom. These two are taking Wonder Woman in to live with them, and Vanessa talks about Wonder Woman, about her missing her home, but the mom interrupts them, and then they sort of go into a bit of a montage. From here, we see Wonder Woman learning various things, and over time, Vanessa feeling more and more like a ghost, like she's being ignored. So she goes out of her way to accessorize, going for a more punk-like look. And Wonder Woman, when she has the time to, she sends Vanessa a note, but it doesn't do enough to circumvent a situation that she's heading down that path. So Wonder Woman comes out with her suit, which she just suddenly has, or builds, or whatever. They just sort of have it off screen, which is a bit bizarre. And then we cut to the title crawl after she gets her suit. So we cut to her now in the suit beating down some thugs, and after that we cut to present day. So Wonder Woman meets with her caretaker, Vanessa's mom, aka, and she tells Wonder Woman that Vanessa has gotten into trouble, that she's made her way into a bad crowd after being ignored after all that time. Cut to her, Vanessa, meeting with Dr. Poison, I believe her name is, and I forget what the snake lady's name is, but it's some sort of woman in purple. It's purple, like snake uniform. So Wonder Woman comes into the area to stop the trade, and she faces off with this other woman named Giganta. So Wonder Woman knocks her out, and this allows Poison to escape. And in the process of this shootout that's also happening, we see that Vanessa's mom made her way over there. It dies in the process. She is shot down. And Wonder Woman is put in the blame as Vanessa sees this and, puts that blame on Wonder Woman. So we see Poison and hear the snake lady. She's usually not in the area. rope Vanessa into the villain way. Even though they were the ones actually responsible, they somehow tricked her into thinking that she should get all of these upgrades. So she gets all of these injections into her body. It would cut to Quebec, I think it is pronounced, I'm not sure. And we see Vanessa in her new, you see the poster, the character to the right there, that is the transformed Vanessa, killing a man. So she got her taste for first blood, and now she's full on a villain at this point. Cut to Wonder Woman training with this robot, and Trevor comes back and gives her an update on how she's doing. We also meet Etta, this sort of tech helper that is also with them, and wants to hook them up with travel, and gives them the invisible jet. So anyways, Wonder Woman and Trevor go into this facility and go on to attack. They make their way further into the base, and the Snake Lady warns Poison that this is happening. And we also learn at this point, or learned a little bit earlier, that Vanessa has become, in terms of her new name, is the Silver Swan. So Wonder Woman knocks Silver Swan out. I'll just change her name over to that because that's what she becomes throughout the majority of the movie. And after knocking her out, Wonder Woman goes to a doctor, Veronica, who wants to heal the Silver Swan. And while they're there, they get a clue and they head out. So Wonder Woman confronts Cheetah, who attacks Wonder Woman, and Cheetah decides to drug herself to become more feral. Meanwhile, Trevor and Ida, go on ahead, and they bump into a Minotaur. So they use the Minotaur to break through the maze, while Wonder Woman is struggling to fight the feral Cheetah. She changes the location to inside the craft in the dark, and is able to finish Cheetah off that way. So she gets to the others by simply flying through this maze that the other two have entered, and asks for her way home. After that, she destroys the artifact that tells them this knowledge, and then the Minotaur is turned off, but is still alive, so he is able to not be a part of this whole little maze thing. They named the Minotaur Ferdinand, I believe. So the Minotaur becomes their ally. Meanwhile, Wonder Woman gives the doc her information about what she saw, including fish. And that's how they're able, I kid you not, that is how they are able to track this location down to Wonder Woman's homeland. I'll just say that instead of trying to say the name again. Nonetheless, the Serpent Lady, or the Snake Lady, hacks into the doctor's computers and makes the building so it's gonna explode or whatever. And Silver Swan is awoken and is put to attack Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman goes back to save the others after knocking Silver Swan away. Meanwhile, after they're able to escape, Wonder Woman and Trevor and Edna escape and gear up and head out to their next location on this plane. So Wonder Woman and Trevor kiss after Trevor's convinced to make sure she has a reason to fight or whatever Edna said. Meanwhile, the Amazons are trying to attack the ship that is sent by both Poison and the Snake Lady, and Vanessa is sent out to catch up and attack. So Wonder Woman heads out for the distraction, and Poison lets out the true villain, Medusa. And the second Medusa is released, she kills the Snake Lady like this, like nothing, and then kills Poison by turning her into a statue and then destroying. I think she destroys the statue or leaves it. I'm not sure which, but nonetheless, Medusa takes this drug that she was given by Poison, which makes her much bigger. So she's charging her way into the Amazon area, and she's turning all the Amazons into stone. So Wonder Woman goes down with Silver Swan, and they're still tackling each other out. And Trevor heads out, trying to also be a distraction. So Wonder Woman tries to head in for the attack after dealing with Silver Swan, and she goes to deal with Medusa. Meanwhile, Trevor comes in for this distraction, and in the process, he gets turned into stone. This causes Wonder Woman to freak out and get bit in the process by one of Medusa's snakes. She also proceeds to bite Vanessa, Silver Swan, who decides, after seeing how fierce Wonder Woman is trying to protect everyone, including her, she decides that she wants to fight with Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman gets bit by a few more snakes, and then starts to get possessed by Medusa's snake, eye manipulation there. So in order to deal with her, she burns her own eyes, causing herself to go blind. And she heads back into the fight, with Silver Swan saving Wonder Woman in the process. So they both now decide to fight Medusa together, and Wonder Woman is tossed into Medusa with this help of Silver Swan, and she is able to cut and slay Medusa once and for all. And in the process, the Amazons are free from the stone, and so is Trevor. Wonder Woman gets to apologize to her mother. They hug. The process of them getting healed happens after the fact, and we see Vanessa return in her normal body, not in the uniform, after the fact of getting healed. And Wonder Woman, now in charge of this arena that I guess she's like holding account for. And that was Wonder Woman Bloodlines. This is pretty typical DC action-oriented material here. I felt like they could have done a little bit more with Silver Swan, aka Vanessa there. In terms of, like, okay, she lost her mother, which had a big impact, and then I feel like the middle is where where it struggles the most to, like, okay, now she just suddenly decides to trust these other people all of a sudden. It does feel like that part comes out of nowhere. Like, why she starts to get into actual trouble, like, there seems to be a little bit of a skip there. And more so over with, like, actual, like, time between Wonder Woman and Vanessa, but I know that some of the point of this is to say that, like, oh, Wonder Woman was the new sister, and she was let in, and the mother took care of her more, or it seemed that way to Vanessa, and, I still think that there are ways you can deal with that. During the fight sequences, they used it a little bit, but I think they could have built on that a little bit more, of Wonder Woman trying to convince Silver Stream of, what was happening. I actually assumed what she was initially going to do was use her whip, her truth-telling whip on the Snake Lady or Poison, to get them to tell the truth to Vanessa. And I thought that's how she was going to learn the truth. It was from that, and then join Wonder Woman a lot earlier in the movie. But, they wanted to save her redemption / change for later. And, having Medusa being brought in close to end of the movie. You know, they build her up quick enough, I suppose, with the 2 insta kills, or at least 1 confirmed. I would say I'd give this movie a 6 out of 10. I feel like they could have used just a little bit more meat, like a little bit more in that middle section. I think like maybe cutting out one of the villainesses, or one of the female villains. I think the most ineffectual one ended up being Cheetah, I feel. But I think I would actually go with Giganta. One of those two. I feel like you either have one or the other, not both. But I'm not sure which one you would want to remove in this instance. But nonetheless, still a 6 out of 10. Still pretty enjoyable. Not too many obvious flaws in terms of just, besides them just needing a little bit more in terms of material, in terms of like what the characters are going through. Other than that, yeah, pretty enjoyable. And that is my review for Wonder Woman Bloodlines. And if you enjoyed it, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure to check out those links in the description. One will head you over to my Discord server, the other to my Patreon page. Any donations are desperately needed. And until next time, everyone, bye-bye.